Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to International Smart Healthcare Forum. We will start our event very shortly. Before the event starts, I would like to share some information to you. The upcoming event, C-Talk and SHE, discussions of smart medical applications and reflections in the post-epidemic era on September 22nd via online. This year's Smart City Expo has been conducted as an O2O event. The online portal of Smart City will serve as an extension of the professional exhibition that features scope, smart life, pavilions, and matchmaking, allowing global stakeholders to participate remotely and always stay connected. And now, let's watch a short clip of HST.
In order to integrate the capabilities and resources of medical care and ICT, the Joint Commission of Taiwan has established a platform named Health Smart Taiwan, also known as HST, for sharing the information of Taiwan's smart healthcare innovation. HST helps both healthcare and IT industries to find the resources and develop medical technology products that meet medical service needs. Moreover, HST provides a channel for these two high-tech industries to interchange and accelerate the development of Taiwan's smart healthcare and globalization. Taiwan has been developing smart healthcare for a long time. This can be attributed to two factors. First, we have a huge database of national health insurance. Second, we have a strong ICT industry. Taiwan has been recognized as the best healthcare systems in the world, which is according to CEO World. Based on that, I believe it can make Taiwan more competitive in the near future and bring substantial growth in the smart healthcare industry. HST can help hospitals to find the products that meet their individual needs, moreover, to find the solutions to deal with their problems. Taiwan has brought the international attention to its ICT accomplishment. Through the combination of the medical care industry, the contribution to mankind will transcend the previous Taiwan ICT industry. It is because of the popularity of ICT, Taiwan plays a key role in this field. After putting on a VR head-mounted display, regardless of whether you are performing neurosurgery or heart surgery, you can use VR to provide family members with an immersive experience that will ensure that they understand your explanation. Actually, at the Medical 4.0 stage, the operating room is most in need of integrated technology. The overhead Unicar electric track vehicle can completely separate used and unused instruments, reducing the risk of cross-infection and achieving the goal of zero contamination. It also puts our space and manpower to the best use. These medical transportation robots can shorten the time to 5 minutes. That lets nurses spend more time on caring for patients in the operating room. Currently, the time spent caring for patients has increased from 75% to 90%. The global smart healthcare trend is still going strong. Taiwan's healthcare industry is a key factor leading the Taiwan economy into renewed prosperity. HST is a platform that was developed by JCT that gathers smart healthcare resources from industry, government, academia, research institutions, and the medical sector, and also serves as a channel for international contact and interchange. It has brought Taiwan's healthcare industry to the world stage. The next step is to implement pioneering projects on precision medicine, which will accelerate the development of smart healthcare. Our future competitiveness will be based on outstanding ICT, an outstanding medical environment, and sufficient cooperation. We are confident we will achieve competitiveness at a high level.
After the session, we would like you to fill in the feedback survey by scanning the QR code below. My name is Christine. On behalf of Taipei Computer Association, it's our honor to welcome you to the third session of International Smart Healthcare Forum. Thank you all, and especially our distinguished guests online for joining us today. We are privileged to have several speakers here with us to share their valuable experiences. International Smart Healthcare Forum is an optimum platform for healthcare professionals as well as for field researchers and practitioners to present innovative solutions and to discover the latest trends in the smart healthcare market. The topic of this third session is in the COVID-19 era, humanization of remote care and management. The COVID-19 pandemic is accelerating the long-anticipated surge in e-health services worldwide. E-health has always been a viable solution within our healthcare system, but its utilization by the general public and healthcare providers has been slow. However, COVID-19 has resulted in customer demand for a change in healthcare provision to a low-touch, high-value model. Healthcare providers must now adapt to this rapid influx of customers with new and varying demands. Among this session, we will be looking at experiences in emerging technologies, intelligent solutions, and post-pandemic opportunities spurred by the epidemic in Taiwan. We will share the management experiences of smart hospital systems, as well as how healthcare providers using technology to contain the coronavirus pandemic, to discuss how remote care and low-touch services are being adopted during the pandemic, as well as the benefits and challenges of e-health. Today, we are very welcome to invite Dr. Lin from Joint Commission of Taiwan. Please say hello to our audience on site. Ms. Zhang from National Taiwan University Hospital. Dr. Fan, Chang'an Memorial Hospital, Jiayi Branch. Dr. Peter Furen, Catholic University Hospital. And then we invite our industrial representatives, Mr. Kant, Fashion Intelligence Company. Mr. Arthur, Minimum Wage Company. And last but not least, Mr. Max, Syscom Group. And now we will have a photo shoot on site. We would like our audience to remain online, and we will begin our session very shortly. Now, everyone, we can put our thumbs up. Thank you so much. We welcome you to utilize the Slido, the scan QR code on the screen. Now let us begin. We are very pleased to invite Dr. Lin, the President of Joint Commission of Taiwan, to deliver his welcoming remark. Let's give a warm welcome to Dr. Lin.
Thank you, Christy. honorable guests, distinguished speakers, my dear friends from here in Taiwan and from all over the world, good afternoon. On behalf of Joint Commission Taiwan, JCT, I would like to join our co-sponsor, Taipei Computer Association, TCA, to welcome you to participate in this forum. The topic of this forum is on smart healthcare. And we all know that the success of creating a good solution for smart healthcare depends on two key issues. The first one is very strong ICT industry. That is the reason why TCA is here. And the second one is a very strong, efficient, and integrated healthcare system. And that is the reason why JCT is here. JCT established 21 years ago, and as a government-sponsored NGO has been devoted to hospital accreditation, PGY education, and quality improvement of healthcare in Taiwan. And we have been using many ways to improve the healthcare quality. And as we know that artificial intelligence and smart healthcare has been very, very important. And again, many attentions in recent years. And JCT has used the National Quality Award to improve the participation of hospital and the ICT industry in order to cooperate in this issue. And we created the Health Smart Taiwan, HST, and we also cooperate with TCA to organize the smart healthcare exports as well as this forum. We used to organize this forum on site, but because of the COVID-19 epidemics, we are not able to do so this year. So we have organized two others online forum before. The first one is to aid on the smart healthcare by AI and 5G. And the second one is to aid on AI with IoT, the so-called AIoT. If you have ever missed any one of the forum or both, I think you can go to YouTube to find the talks and to review and to see what you can learn from the previous forum. And today, we are focused on the humanization. It is because it is not only the 3C, not only the computer, not only the online, but also the COVID-19 pandemics has kept people away. And that is the diminution of our humanity. So people, if we are not able to keep our humanity, we will be exhausted and lose our direction. So today, we will be focused on the humanization of remote care and management. So today, we are very happy that we have the opportunity to take the challenges, because the virus is smart, but we will get even smarter. I think with our collaborative efforts, we can overcome anything. So my best wishes for everyone here and the remote to keep healthy and happy. And I will cross my fingers to wish that we will overcome the war. We will win the war as soon as possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Lin, for your warm welcome remark. For our first presentation, I would like to welcome Ms. Zhang, Nursing Supervisor, Department of Nursing from National Taiwan University Hospital, who will be talking about import through information system to improve the efficiency of hospital access control. Let's welcome Ms. Zhang.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Junyan Zhang. It's my pleasure to present the import through the information system to improve the efficiency of hospital access control. Firstly, this is our team member. It's our core team member because our team is a multidisciplinary team. It includes the personal guide. So we just show the core team number. Its a team number is including the nursing department and the information technology office person. And firstly, we will to talk about how to establish this system, because the relevant epidemic prevention measure announced by the ECCC, I think every hospital is the same obey. And there are a lot of people line up at our gate. I think the longest distance is about 100 meters. It's so long. And originally, we used the paper to fill up the visitors' data. So it's difficult to follow up. So, and another process, we want to show you how to develop the process. We can see we are responsible for the rolling adjustment. And you can see the poster. It's on the February. And the rolling adjustment is control the companies or visitors. And we also to control the company or visitor have to register and ask the TOCC. So in our hospital, our team, in late March, early March, the Delhi pandemic meeting, our team decided to create the information system to do the visitor control. And what do? We're doing the rolling adjustment for the visitor control. We update the travel warning to control before 8 o'clock every morning. And every day as a basic for registering the action for visitors, and produce the TOCC as assessment and epidemic prevention statement in different languages, Chinese, English, and Indonesia. And we also do the park log control. Our team just spent 2 weeks to do the requestment survey and do the program and write the program. On the March, we launched on trail and the official introduced on April 8th. And how about the rolling adjustment? We see from the April 2nd to May, from the total ban on registering the hospital for visits. And in the May, because we use the reservation system, so in our service desk also use this. So our control process is smoothly. It's our important focus is for the reservation system. Our team want to set up the closed loop. The closed loop, we can see, we we start up the wall, and we end at the wall because we want to follow up the visitors. And first of all, our staff could say open the reservation and send SMS, to notify the contacts. And our visitor can use the 3C equipment to log in the website and enter the best information when the visitor different colors QR code, and our gate can look different colors QR code to decide the visitors they will enter or they could stop. They have to stop here. Entering, we'll scan the QR code to confirm the visitor is arrives. And this is our medical information system, the main inference. You can see this is the visitor and the company look. And if the patient, they will take examination. We have the company, have family to company, and we can use this system. Select the different days and open the appointment tomorrow, and send a text message to notify the emergency contact. The next step, maybe everybody can scan the QR code. You will see our guest reservation page. It's entrance. Just click here. We can make appointment. And this is our TOCC and the information interface. And click here. You can, if you want to cancel, you can use this item. And then I talked before, because when we enter the hospital, we can show the QR code. So use the interface, we can click here and generate a QR code. And different colors means different means when you are the green light means you not have the travel history within 14 days, so you can pass entry. And the yellow light means you don't have the travel history, but because you don't check it you don't use the system at the real time, so you have to use your insurance card at our service desk. And if you see the red bar card QR code, because it means you have a travel history within the 14 days, so you cannot enter in our hospital. And in our world, use the QR code, and we can confirm you enter our hospital. So it's our conclusion. Our visitor control according the reservation system is reduce the waiting time and reduce the visitor compliance. And we will stable use this feature and follow up this data. Daily, I see the daily average number is generally increase. It's about in the July, its data is 1,000. And we can see, I see the long distance, long line up, and the end is less crowded. So it's my presentation. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Ms. Zhang, for your presentation. Next, I want to welcome Dr. Fan, Deputy Chief, Emergency Department, representative of Medical Informatics Committee from Chang'an Memorial Hospital Jiayi Branch, who will be speaking on healthcare and surveillance of hospital employees during pandemic.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you for the invitation, and it's a great honor for me to represent our hospital to share our experience and what we have done in the past months during pandemic. Today, I would like to share the healthcare and the surveillance of hospital employees during COVID-19 pandemic. As we know, since this January, the COVID-19 start to spread, our hospital is trying to preparing how to treat the COVID-19 patients, including preparing personal protective equipment and negative pressure ward, or how to screen the suspected infected patients. As the more and more suspected infected patients come to our hospital, our hospital worry about our hospital employee may get infected, increase the opportunity of infection. So we also worry about if there's an outbreak in our hospital, there will be severe impair our hospital normal operation, because our hospital employee cannot work. There will be a lot of nobody work, and the hospital cannot maintain its normal operation. So we try to build a system, try to monitor the health status of our hospital employee, and try to find out who may get infected. And if our hospital employee was suspected to get infected, our hospital can help them to know what to do next. So we are thinking, if we develop a health surveillance system, we need maybe this data: body temperature, flu-like symptoms like cough, sore throat, or smell loss, etc. And we also need TOCC, travel and contact cluster in history, from every hospital employee. And we think maybe we will request our hospital employee to self-report and self-key in their data through the system. So based on hospital information system, we develop system to collect data. Let's see how it works. First, we add a small function from our hospital mobile apps. See this? We can key in our body temperature on the apps, and also to check if there are any flu-like symptoms. You can key in the data, and the TOCC also. So if the hospital employee they didn't download the apps, you can also use the hospital web to key in the data. Then in the hospital information system, we also design a function. If the hospital employee have to apply for a leave, especially going abroad, you have to key in your data. You have to key in if you want to go abroad or not, and which country you have to go. You want to go. The reason why we design this function is because, in this early year, and if there's a foreign country have the outbreak, and our hospital employee went to the country, we can trace his history and help our hospital employee to take actions for it. So all the data from different ways of entry will be stored in the database of hospital information system, and hospital manager can analyze the data and to do some management action. So as you see, use this system, we can know among our hospital employee, we have more than 2,000 hospital employees in our hospital. And on this day, July 28, there's nobody get fever, and 3 persons have the flu-like symptoms, and 40 persons have the TOCC history. From this data, we can download the detailed information to find out who have the flu-like symptoms, these 3 people, and we can contact. There will be hospital manager will phone these people and to double check if he really need to see a doctor, or just stop work, or have the COVID-19 test, rapid test. Let's take an example to see how our system works during pandemic. This is very famous class infection event in Taiwan. There are 24 Navy soldiers were close infected in the Dumu fleet. And after they came back to Taiwan, they went home and visited many places all over Taiwan. You see that this blue area is the area they have been during that period. So our Taiwan CDC worry about there will be a big outbreak, because there's infected cases, soldiers visit so many places. So our Taiwan CDC use the whose cell phone had been in this area, and they send the travel alert message to each cell phone. So that means if you get a travel alert message on your cell phone, you may have the chance to get infected. So use our system. We request every hospital employee to enter the related information, especially when you get the travel alert message. So during that time, we find there are 12 hospital employees get the travel alert message, and then we follow up in the following 14 days if they have the fever or they have the flu-like symptoms. Unfortunately, no one get infected. So during until late May, this system has recorded more than 100 contact history cases and 83 travel alert message. We hospital arranged 24 hospital employees to receive COVID-19 exam and the home quarantine. Because our hospital also arranged our new dormitory. There's about 16 quarantine rooms for hospital staff. If they have need, we arrange to stay in the quarantine room for 1 week or 2 weeks. And during the quarantine period, and each day we hospital provide the food delivery and free Wi-Fi and digital thermometer so that they can input the data. As we know, since January, Taiwan CDC has renewed several editions of the criteria of quarantine. So we also produce screensaver for policy announcement in order to let the hospital employee can more clearly know CDC's policy. We also establish a direct line for the hospital employee. If they have any question about COVID-19 and the quarantine policy, they can just call our hospital manager, and there will be someone answer their question. Most of the question is about the definition and the criteria of self-quarantine. And the second is how to apply a leave, and especially if they go abroad. So summary, this system can help the hospital to do the epidemic investigation, also help the hospital to monitor the health status of the hospital employee. And I think everyone can contribute their small power from small things, like the body temperature check and the self-report your health status. They can in turn prevent others around you from COVID-19 infection. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Fan, for your presentation. Next, I would like to welcome Mr. Kent, CEO from Fashion Intelligence Company, who will be speaking on IoT technology for COVID-19 contact control. Let's welcome Mr. Kent.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kent. It's my honor to share our experience with you. Today, my topic is using IoT technology to do the contact controlling. As far as we know, to prevent the virus spread, control the contact is most important thing. So we also know social distance. We also know we shouldn't get out of our home when we are during the under investigation period. However, there are somehow some accidents or some people just want to go outside for 3 minutes or 5 minutes. However, it also causes a risk of virus spreading. So our target is to aim at 3 kind of scenarios. First one, people who are under investigation when they are staying at home or at the hotel. And second, when the importing laborers or overseas laborers control their activities in the working area or their dorm. And final one is in the hospital scenario. So our company has established for 10 years. We are specialized in indoor and outdoor positioning. There are a lot of references using our technology. I will use 2 references to introduce our benefit for controlling. Now, first one, if you have chance to visit Taipei Main Station, it is the biggest main station in Taiwan, and it's very complex environment. High-speed rail and MRT and bus transportation altogether is very easy to get lost. So around 3 years ago, we and ASUS group, we established an app for Taipei Main Station called Taipei Navy. So if you download this app, When you get in the Taipei main station, you can just identify the destination you want to go, like a toilet, like some gate, like a ticket store, just like using the car navigation. You identify the destination, and the system will guide you to the destination. And we also have some like vibration, like notification, to notify you when you are approaching the destination, or you should turn right or upstairs, something like that. For this kind of scenario, is also suitable for big hospitals. So for one case, is our customer in Dubai. In this kind of period, they are fearing to contact patients. So when patients come to the hospital, they always ask, where is the X-ray room? Where is the like toilet? So there are a lot of face-to-face contact. So they want us to build an app, navigation app for them. So the patients, when they go into the hospital, just need to identify the destination, and the system will guide them to the destination. So this is one kind of indoor positioning. Second, I want to show the hybrid, combine outdoor and indoor positioning. This is the field in Zhutian County in Pingtung County, Zhutian. There is an area combined. Here is a nursing home for people, like a daycaring home for dementia people or elderly people. So they can take their time at the institute to do some activities, to do some courses. However, the county government, like the elder people, not only stay in the institute, they want them to go outside, like this is an elementary school. They want the elder people can go to the elementary school to do some activities with children. And they can go to some temples to do some social activities with other elder people. For encouraging the elder people going out, they want to also take care of their safety. So they want us to provide them positioning devices. So if the elder people go outside for a too far or different way or get lost, the people who are taking care of them can receive the notification through app, through our system, and to identify their location at real time. So at this kind of scenario, I think there are a lot of similar demands in all over the world. However, in the past, the only choice we got is GPS device. So if you want to let the elder people to put on the GPS device over the day, is the first, I think, obstacle, because the behavior is different from their memory. So they don't want to put some 3C product on their body every day. And the second is also the most crucial obstacle, I think, is power consuming problem. So every GPS device, as long as you turn on it, you need to recharge one day or twice a day. So it's difficult to keep the habit. And our choice is to using Bluetooth beacon. It's low power Bluetooth. Our devices can work with a single battery for 9 months. So you don't have to worry about the power consuming. So if you put our devices with the elder people, you can know the position of the elder people in the institute. So if the elder stay in the toilet for maybe over 10 minutes, the system will trigger a notification. So you can use relatively less people to take care of relatively more elders. So when the elders going outside, you can also check their position and their trace with our system. And we also can combine with Google Map. So as I mentioned, the beacon device is not only less power consumption, but also a smaller size. So it's just like a coin. So we put the device inside the lifeguard symbol. Is our religional stuff. So elder people in Taiwan would like to put this with them because it's just like what is very familiar in their memory. So they can put it. And so when they put our devices, not only in the institute, but also when they are going outside, we can know their real-time positioning and the trigger notification when the person entering some forbidden area or leaving from the area we identify. We can trigger the notification. And this screen is for the manager of the daycaring center, so they can check everyone's real-time position at the same screen. So you can monitor a lot of people at the same time. However, people are, the managers always have their jobs, so they won't stare at the monitor for all day. So the notification can be some background music, like the bird sings, and you know it's time to check your monitor. You don't have to keep your eye on the monitor. Okay, so let's talk about COVID-19 prevention. So we want to control the contact and to alert when something we don't like scenario happen. Okay, so there are two issues we want to take care. One is health, because when people go outside, when they are during the investigation period, it's easy to spread the virus and cause the social community spread. And the economy, some of our customers are from factory, so they manage a lot of foreign workers. So once a worker is identified infected, the whole production line have to stop, have to shut down. They have to investigate each one of the production line, and it will cause a lot of loss in the production. So how to retrieve the correct contact history will be very important. For example, if there are 100 people in the production line and only one worker is infected, our system can tell the manager in past like 10 days, there are only 15 people involving in this contaction. So only these 15 people should be investigated, not the whole 100 people, okay? So to expand our services, we have three main functions. First one is real-time position checking. So just like what I showed, we can use the app or the screen to identify the real-time status of each one's position. And the second is contact history retrieve, because we know every trace of people who wearing our bracelet, our tag, or our badge. And the final one is geofencing setting and geofencing control. We can set the geofencing at their homes, at their factories. Once they leave the geofence, the system will trigger alerts. And the green circle will become red circle. You click in, they will show which time, which date, and this person leave the area. Okay, so here is one reference is Songshan Airport. They already use our system for 3 years. So the managers can use our system to check different roles of the workers, their position. So how do they use our system? They can schedule the assignment like toilet cleaning. So if at the cleaning time, the cleaning person didn't show up, the system will alert. Or the people go outside the airport, enter in some forbidden area, the system will send notification. And they also can do the job report. Once they after cleaning the toilet or checking some airport equipment, the system will also send the notification. So the system is robust and used for 3 years. And it can also customize for similar scenario or hospital control. So this is another our customer. So their employee put our badge. This badge is beacon inside, so they can also know when and how long they stay in their job position. Okay. And this is the Hong Kong Health Administration building. They also use our system to check their assets. So it's a real-time checking assets. We can also combine apps and browsers or the customer's apps. So in our system, what we need to set up receivers. Receivers is put in the monitoring, and our system will send event. So we can also provide API for customers already a hospital scenario. Our customer use our system to check the staff or the patient or the assets, the real-time location. And once the status changing, the red one means people go into some forbid area, and the gray means the person is already disappeared, and the green means normal, and we can still see them on the dashboard. And the system will send the message on the screen. And also we can combine SMS, app, or line. Okay, so this is a scenario in hospital. Once the patient has been living or has been at the WC for too long time, please check, something like that. And because we have everyone's trace, so when one person is infected, so we can trace back like 10 days, 1 month, or even longer time to know their interaction situation. Okay, and the final one is to set our receiver at home or in the hospital or in the hotel. The basic is our receiver and the Wi-Fi connection. So we can use already existed Wi-Fi to connect to our cloud. And the same, the bracelet or the tag with the person we are monitoring. And this is our customer in Dubai. They can check the real-time situation. So how many people are under investigation and who and when the person go outside. And we also adopted in 2 counties in Taiwan in the past of time. And comparing with normal electronic monitoring or GPS bracelet, I think we have 2 main advantages. One is power consumption problem. Second is accuracy, because GPS will drift. So it will trigger a lot of false alarms. Okay, that's my sharing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kent, for your presentation. Then I want to welcome Dr. Peter, Director, Center for Innovation Division of Critical Care Medicine and Department of Emergency from Furen Catholic University Hospital, who will be speaking on MacWord, a new concept for hospital design under COVID-19 pandemic. Let's welcome Dr. Peter.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. And first, I want to thank the Joint Commission of Taiwan and the TCA to invite me to give a talk about the new concept for the hospital design. And I mentioned about is the hospital design, not only to create a wall. And the wall we name is the MacWord under the COVID-19 pandemic. And first of all, I want to say about the Center for Innovation, because it's the core center of the whole concept come up is from this center. Its co-founder is our Vice Superintendent of our hospital, Dr. Zhang, and another Dr. Zhang is Zhang Yijian, is another doctor. They are the co-founder. And the Center of Innovation is highly supported by our president, Professor John Hansen. And because he has said about most hospitals just healthcare practice or maybe study or teaching, but I think the innovation is another spirit or the core spirit about the Furen Hospital, Furen Catholic Hospital. And the CFI is the first hospital with the innovation in Taiwan that is design-oriented and patient-centered. And we think about is the ways the design thinking process. And the ideas come from, it's not our individual or our innovative idea. The Center for Innovation, the idea is from the Mayo Clinic. Mayo Clinic is the toughest hospital in the US. And you can see here the needs of the patient come first. It's their primary value of the Mayo Clinic. And they have this same Center of Innovation. Their purpose is to connect the technology with the medical practice and the connected care and the health and the well-being and the innovation accelerator. Because sometimes doctors or medical staff just like a center or environment to build up this innovation. And we want to do is about the unmet clinical need, especially for the patient or physician or nursing, and between the technology, becomes a hospital innovation center becomes a gate to link these two. And how we operation is we find some unmet clinical need and find some patients' experience and some hospital flow is not perfect, and many physicians or nursing or medical staffs, they come out with an idea they can send to our CFI, and we use the design thinking way to analyze and how we can do this idea or not executed now, maybe can use now, we can find some technology or some to support this program. And talk about the origin of the Mac word. I have to say that not all building or floor is built up when the hospital is opened 3 years ago. Our 12th floor is unfinished, and only you can see here is only interior with concrete floor and only some tube here. And so we primary goal is to initially about 1 year ago we wanted to build an age-friendly smart world. But after 1 year, we still cannot figure out what's innovation, because we know many hospitals, they have this kind of age-friendly environment, healthcare system. And after the COVID-19 pandemic, and you can see here, many hospitals, they are flooded with virus patients and forcing them to cancel elective surgery and to discharge patients early because they don't have enough ICU or isolation room or even just usually clinical bed. And a large shortage of negative pressure isolation bed and intensive care unit. But sometimes I think it's unbalanced, not really shortage, because many patients come to a hospital, they need an intensive care unit, but you still have spaces, but less usual ward, not an isolation or intensive care unit. So our team think about, this is our Center of Innovation, CFI. Let's just think about maybe some way we can do and to solve this problem. And we are very fortunate through the Taiwan Design Research Institute, because we cooperate with Taiwan Design Research Institute for a long time. And through them, we met Arthur and many ways, and we built the Mac world. It's modular, adaptable, convertible through the innovation design thinking. This is core spirit is the design thinking. And the first we come out is the movie you all know about Transformers. You know the robot usually is a car, fancy car, but when we meet some enemy, it can transfer to the the robot. So we first come out is the convertible world. Usually, usually we think it's the normal world, just for normal patient. But when we met some pandemic or infectious disease or even a disaster, we need more ICU or isolation room, we can transfer or convert to the ICU or isolation room. And we think Taiwan is a very safe country now, but the pandemic usually is a foreign country like US, Italy, so maybe we should assembling our water outside in the foreign. How can we move this water to outside, transport them? Think the modular type is very important because we can transport with airplane and or ship. And so quickly assembly is our second thought. And build in the parking lot, stadium, free spaces because many hospitals, they are built for many years or even 100 years. They don't have any free space, but they have parking lots, usually in the foreign country. Parking lot, stadium, something. We can build this kind of wall around the hospital. So the building height or even your space not universalized. So this have to be adaptable for the environment. So this is our three major concepts just come up from this way. And very, very, very fortunate that we made a mini-grids. They can use the recycling material, and we think about it, we don't have to be restricted by space. We can build up the water in the parking lots or stadium. And we are not restricted by healthcare staff shortages, so we have remote monitoring for the patients. And we don't disrupt the this world is very easy to transport. We can transport from you can see the airplane. So we can transport our world very quickly, maybe 2 or 3 days. We can go up the whole world, like European or US. And one thing I have to say is that we disrupted the traditional way to build a hospital. That's our big goal. All hospitals, they just design from maybe the 4th floor is the surgical or operation room, and next to operation room is surgical ICU, and one floor is belong to pediatric, and another floor is to medical ICU. But we are not a restaurant, when you open with the steakhouse, you don't have the customer with vegetarian and go to steakhouse. So I'm vegetarian. I want to order some vegetarian. No, but we cannot choose our patient. Sometimes you meet some disaster or some like the pandemic. Maybe you can one day have 10 or even 100 patients with they need isolation room or need an ICU bed. But we build up the hospital with some area is ICU, so the bed is limited. Maybe one hospital have only 50 ICU bed. But when they have the patient, the need for 100 ICU patient, what they do, they just want to transfer to another hospital. They can do is to transfer the normal or the usual ward to ICU to meet the need. So, but the policy is that we don't want the pandemic COVID-19 patient to be transferred to other hospital. We usually want to take care in our hospital. What we can do is to transform the normal ward to the ICU or isolation room. So maybe I think in the future, this our big dream is when we build a new hospital, many wards, just like our Mac ward, maybe 2 floors, 3 floors, or more floors, and many wards. They usually in the meantime they use as the ordinary ward. But when we have pandemic disease, and we have many patients need to be isolated, we can quickly transfer the ward to isolation room within 2 hours or 3 hours. And when we have many patients with respiratory failure, intubated, or need isolation room and ICU, we can transfer the ward to the ICU. Then we have many flexibility to cope with this pandemic disease. So Mac ward is a new concept for the hospital design, providing the healthcare system highly flexibility when facing like this kind of emerging infectious diseases. And it takes a lot of time and money to build a new isolation ward outside the hospital, or renovate the general ward to negative pressure isolation room in traditional hospital building. And we have the friendly university in US is the Temple University. They spend millions of US dollars to build, an area isolation room 3 miles away their hospital. You know how many patients they take care of? Just guess. Only 14 patients. They spend millions of US dollars only take care of 14 patients. Why? Because the patient is not so near to the hospital, and the facility is not useful, and it's the 3 miles away from the hospital. You can set the ICU there, so the choosing patient is very difficult. Another way is to think about after the pandemic, how can we deal with those isolation room or this temporary building, maybe as a waste and cause some damage for the environment. So this is our thinking about if we build hospital in this way. Beginning initiation, we build a hospital in this way. We don't have to build another area or isolation room when we meet the pandemic disease or emerging the infectious disease. So this is our marker, but maybe I can play this one. 可以放吗? Oh yeah. Yes, we come up with it's from the medical side. This is our mark, Mac word mark. And our future is we want to. Now we are building a floor nearly 19 beds with the Mac word in our 12th floor. This is not only a word; it's a floor of this system. And maybe it's a good design or a good, maybe you can, after the finished in this year, everyone can come out to see what's the work or how it's designed, or maybe, I think maybe it's the future of hospital design. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Peter, for your presentation. Then I would like to welcome Mr. Arthur, co-founder and CEO from Miniweed Company, who will be speaking on saving lives while saving our environment. Let's welcome Mr. Arthur.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Liu, for earlier explaining some of the project we've been working on the Mac. But I think first we need to understand what type of company that can do a lot more of this technology is embedded in Taiwan and many of the design professionals that's out there. So first of all, let you see what we have been kind of trying to make recycling machines smart. Okay, and now we want to make
the trash presso. Using press machines, shredders, ovens, and other industrial equipment, Trash Presso is able to recycle trash anywhere. While TP1 traveled around the world, MiniWiz developed a new generation of Trash Presso, a modular system with a smaller footprint for easier transportation and higher energy efficiency. With a new system of heat induction presses and specific molds for different parts, the process has become faster and more efficient. The new Trash Presso complements Robin, MiniWiz's smart trash collection system. We will track every single piece of your trash from the moment you throw it away till the time we put it back in the game. Furthermore, new Trash Presso can be upgraded with a robot arm that will do the dirty job. Technology, engineering, design, ingenuity, creativity, and passion.
Okay, so during this pandemic, I think the most difficult part about this whole thing is the trash that's being generated. So the initial, before we thinking about building a new generation of hospital system to build a hospital ward, we're thinking about how to use the least amount of footprint to do that, using the medical waste and using many of the waste we've been throwing away to turn that into a new generation of technology. And guess what? There's no recycling out there currently in the world. Most of the recycling means burning it. So the reality is, how do you transform some of the material we collected during this pandemic and turn that into new materials? So this is one of our area of research for the last 20 years. But I don't think this is the main focus here today. But I just wanted to, the little video you saw just now is using all kinds of latest technology, including AI, including robotics, but that is all focusing on a very low margin environmental saving industry, which is trash recycling or upcycling. Imagine today, hospitals is a life-saving infrastructure. I think most of this technology must be integrated into this new generation of design. Otherwise, what's the point of us sitting here, right? Okay, so you can see from even in the trash industry, we can do this. We should do that for the Mac War, for the new hospital system. And all this requires a set of new data, material transformation, and a way, how do you get materials to be antiviral, how did it become passively protecting the medical staff and the patients while you're in the space. So all this is in the material database we've been building for. So on that front, MiniWiz has been building lots of recycling plant. One of the plant we've been building is a medical waste recycling plant. So we sterilize the material that's coming out from the hospital. We take the hard plastic and the soft plastic, which are the fibers, and we transform that from the PPE gowns, mask, all the way to bed sheets and blankets, and we are turning that into a new generation of level 2 to level 3 of medical grade protection gear under, of course, the NCAA AMA certification. On top of that, what happened when it's not during pandemic? Some of that material needs to go into somewhere, right? The medical waste is still coming, so we are turning that into building materials. So as you can see, there's a different, and this infrastructure right now. So this is a short video. I know this is, I prepared a presentation in Chinese, but I feel bad that now I have to do it all in English. Some of these medical waste directly into the fabric of the Mac War, directly directly into the curtains and bedding of a Mac ward. Also, we are turning that into Nike fashion products. I know it sounds kind of funny that you link fashion and medical together, but right now fashion is dead, medical is up, but soon medical is down, fashion is going to be back up. So this is why the material need to be semi-exchanged within the whole system of the consumption. Okay. So now I get back straight into how this way of designing a new generation of smart wards is important, and why is that special compared to a traditional method. The traditional method of building a system is wet construction. Imagine wet construction versus dry construction. Most of the office space today is dry construction. You buy a standard office furniture, it turns into a room. Nobody built a brick wall in the offices anymore. Okay? It's just stupid. It's really backward in technology. By the way, currently the hospital is built still a 100-year-old technology. Hasn't changed a little bit at all. Okay? So even in the US, even in Europe, and some of the hospitals in Europe is even more like that. Okay, so that's why we upgrade the existing medical infrastructure with recycled aluminum, with antiviral coating, and negative pressure by nature, by its own construction. So everything can be constructed super quickly. We use a standard modular grid system. Everything is kit of parts, means stick and like Lego pieces. And these Lego pieces can be fit all within the hospital elevator. And that's very important because so you can transport it either through air freight and also through internal elevators. And all these pieces are modularized, so any Joe can put together a kit like this. Okay, so it's designed like an expo. So we literally show this also with the hospital, with the innovation with our doctors and nurses to come up with the design. But with the modular system, we can do this in 24 hours. Literally went from the elevator to building a brand new room in 24 hours. So then, of course, earlier Dr. Liu mentioned it has to be adapted to all the potential leftover spaces around the hospital. So you have to be able to have enough clearance to be able to fit into all the, let's say, negative pressure system, all the HAPA filters, all the pipings that's required. So that's actually the modularity cup of tea. So it has to resist the basic level of structural challenges on lateral loading on both wind, gravities, additional to all the vibrations, and also sound qualities, and the nursing station required. So this is taking an existing existing vertical parking lot right next to a hospital, and we just literally see if we can fit the system in. So we tested different models of this system to be able to fit it in there, even in the open park area, to see the pod deployability. So the convertible, it's very simple. You can only have one bed in an ICU or a intensive care unit or a negative isolation ward, but sometimes the room can be used for 3 people, 4 people. Okay, so you have to be able to adapt to different conditions and also different outlets. Just like an OA furniture, it's like, the typical standard modularized furniture system. Sounds very easy to you right now, right? Everybody understands the concept, but in reality, the hospital system is not built like this. So we are just doing something that what people already know. And with the doctors and nurses' help, we make sure all the standardization fit all the system right now, including all the new sensors that's embedded in the system. You can monitor many things. You can both have a camera monitoring system and all the way to from LiDAR if you want, infrared system if you want, and all linked to a nursing station and on top of an app. So you can actually remotely monitoring the patients. And of course, one other thing that's very important to most of us is we always care a lot about caring the patient, but in reality, no one actually cares about the patients because in a negative pressure room, normally the air pressure, the decibels for the noise level is super, super high, okay, for the negative pressure to create that laminar flow, okay? So for us, you want to create a very self-contained, low leakage room okay? But at the same time, you got to create a flow with very low decibel of sound so the patient can actually rest to recover rather than being killed by the noise, ambient noise. On top of that, that's why you have sound insulation on top of these noise cancellation system. On top of that, we have to look out also for the cleaning staff for the medical system. Because, so you notice that most of these panels has no edges, very few gap, okay? So for the cleaning staff, it can be very easily cleaned. Additional to a UV system allows it to naturally, passively clean when a patient leaves, go to a bathroom, all of a sudden UV lights turns on, and then it cleans the room. When it comes out of the toilet, the UV lights shut down, okay? So the lighting is also because a patient stares at the ceiling the most. So how do you create a lighting allows them to adjust to their different conditions? So this is all integrated in the prototype of this hospital system. And in the future, literally in 3 months from now, you will see the whole hospital floor designed in this smart way and implemented in the whole system. So this is some highlight of this system. The last thing is, how is that related to us today? Some of these materials and technology we related, again, I'm going back to fashion again, yeah? Or consumer products or any type of all this technology in the future can also become part of our needs, even as simple as a cell phone case. Okay, you can use recycled material with this technology of coating, plasma coating. You can directly coat into almost all your devices. So that's all I'm sharing. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Arthur, for your presentation. Last but not least, let's welcome Mr. Max from the Syscom Group to give us a speech of service robot in hospital. Let's welcome Mr. Max.
Hello, I'm Max. I'm the last speaker today. Okay, I'm coming to share some experience, our solutions in hospital. First, let me introduce my company. Syscom Group is an IT company. In Syscom, we provide IT services, hardware, software, and solutions to our customers. Okay, IT equipment is code. Okay, but around 3 years ago, we start to think about we need to do some digital transformation. So we start to study some technologies, AI, machine learning, and IoT, something like that. Okay, so one of our customers actually is a police department. One day they talk with us about how we can do robot. So we started to our research on robot, and around 1 year later we created our first robot. Actually, this one you see on the picture. This is the fourth generation. Okay, and actually, her name is Ayuda. Okay. Why we call it Ayuda? Ayuda means help in Spanish. So we think about from our idea, robot is coming to help people, not to replace people. Okay. So we name it Ayuda to help people. So this is our first generation. It's totally made in Taiwan, and all technologies, all materials also from Taiwan. Okay, and here is some spec. Actually, you can see there's 3 cameras on the head. And one is for face recognition. The other one is to like a surveillance camera. He can monitor any situation in front of the robot. Okay, and also IUDA has LiDAR here. Actually, the LiDAR is used to detect, to run the map. Okay, you may see some robots that can walk by themselves because they can learn the map. They didn't use any Wi-Fi or something like that. They use equipment called LiDAR. Okay, and since you can learn the map, you can lead and can do the navigation and lead the people to somewhere you want to go. Okay, and also we also have the ultrasonic here. Okay, we use it to avoid the barriers in front of or near a robot, and it will help us to avoid the damage to people or to human. Okay, and we also have some equipment here. There's a monitor here. There's a monitor here, and the monitor used to share some information to people in front of him. And also we have a car reader here. Okay, we have a car reader here. We can use it to read the national health insurance card and some other card. We also have a barcode reader under the screen here, and also there's a printer here. So, and also inside the IUDA, we have a computer engine inside the IUDA, and we developed some functionality. For example, voice recognition, and we also developed some voice recognition and also some face recognition in IUDA. Okay. So with such equipment or hardware software, we have some functionality in IUDA. The first is he can do some interaction with people. Okay, you can talk with her. You can talk. You can speak. She can recognize Mandarin, Japanese, and also English. Okay, and she can detect your voice and to recognize what you say and give you some response. Okay, so we use it to provide some information. For example, in hospital, I will introduce later. Okay, first in hospital, you can ask her about the schedule, the clinic, and also some information about healthcare. Okay, and as I said, he has a face recognition function, so we can do identity the people in front of IUDA. You can use it to identify your patients, and you can identify your customers. Okay, and also she can remember you and give you some response only because she know you, so she can say hello with you. You can provide some services which is different from others. Okay. Also, we have the video conference here. As I say, IUDA is coming to help people, not to replace people. So she has some limits. She cannot do everything. So sometimes we need people, real people, in the back end to help IUDA to solve a problem. Okay, so we design a video conference system inside the panel here, and you can ask her something, and if she can if she cannot help you, she will call a customer service or the service center in the back end and to give you more help. Okay. And also, as I said, there's a navigation function here. So in the hospital, we also give some function to lead the patients to the clinics. Okay. Here's some. Actually, we already developed the robot for 3 years, and we have some customers. Originally, we designed the robot with a police department, but our first customer is in hospital. Okay, and we also have customers, or banking customers, using in their lobby, in their branch offices. Okay, and also some retail. We have 3 robots in malls near Taipei. Okay. I'm sorry. Here's I share some successful story in the hospital. You see, it's a national. I'm sorry, it's a Hualien Armed Force General Hospital. Actually, it's an army hospital in Hualien, and he's our first customer in Taiwan. Okay, this picture shows that they use Ayuda not only in their lobby, but also support some event in the roadshow. Okay. Here's some. Here's what Ayuda do in Hualien Army Hospital. Okay, the first is a reception, of course. Okay, she can detect somebody to approaching her. So once she detects somebody approaching her, she will move forward and then say hello to her, to the people, to the person in front of her, and she can have some share some information, for example, the healthcare information, and also when people ask her about the information about clinic, she will answer and lead the patients to the clinic. Okay. Okay, and this is another this new function we developed for Hualien Army Hospital. In Taiwan, we have a refillable a prescription. Okay, you just use your NHI card and to get your refillable prescription, and use this prescription to get the medicine in the pharmacy. Okay, so you don't have to waste time to waiting on the line or waiting for the doctor. Okay, and also if you have something you would like to know about the medicine, in the medicine bag, it's like this. I'm sorry, like this one. Here, there's a barcode here, and you can scan this barcode from Ayuda, and the Ayuda will tell you what medicine what medicine is inside, and any side effect you want to you need to be patient to it. Okay. And also, as I say, the navigation, and also we also do the fall detection, because there's many elder patients in the hospital. So sometimes, if they fall down, maybe they need some medical staff to help it. So we have the fall detection, and also can set an alarm to send alarm to the medical staffs. Okay. Here is the first
为了防疫 ，Ayuda 聪明再升级，凌群电脑结合科技，提供。
Here's our new function. We can detect the face mask and also body temperature. Actually, we use it in our company. Okay. Here's the lobby of my company, and if you everybody we have in that building we have around 1,000 employees in my company. So everybody during the COVID-19, when they get into the office, they need to detect the body temperature, and also they will ask to put on their face mask. So originally we use 3 employees and 1 security guard to check our employee if they have the face mask or body temperature. And we think we have Ayuda, so we design the software to detect it, and use some IoT technologies. So right now in our company, you just go through to the lobby, and you don't have to do anything. You don't have to wait for the staff to detect. Okay, and it saves a lot of labors, and also it will help us to improve our employees' certification. So I think such function we can use not only in a hospital but also in every organizations or buildings to help to save our laborers. Okay. Here. Okay. This is my introduction about our robot in Syscom. Okay. And if you have any questions, welcome to contact me through my email. Okay. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you, Mr. Max, for your presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, this comes to an end for the presentation session, and we will now open for Q&A. Whether you're online or on site, please go to slido.com or enter room ID SHE0821 to ask questions. Now I'll hand over to our host, Dr. Lin, to conduct Q&A session. Let's welcome Dr. Lin to come on stage.
Thank you very much for giving us so many excellent presentations. I think through 3 ICT industry presenters, especially from Fashion Intelligence, Milliwits, and Syscom, I think they have provided their innovative innovations in their own solutions as well as the product. And through the 3 hospital workers from National Taiwan University, from the Jiayi Chang'e Memorial Hospital, and the Fudan University Hospital, I think they have shared their experience in applying the advent of technology. I think the application as well as the innovation of the technology are both important. And from our topic, we are talking about humanization of the remote care and management. I think my understanding is the humanity or humanization is meeting the personal and the global needs of human needs. I think everybody have their own needs or they have general needs. If the technology can meet the needs, then it is humanity, it is humanization. I believe we have announced the questions to us.
Okay, for the first question. With the widespread use of 3C products, there has been a gradual alienation between people. We have been talking about care for low contact, how to balance humanity.
Okay, this is the question 1, because the 3C have been keeping people away. There have been a joke the people say hello to each other on computers, but when they meet, they still look at the computers, not saying hello anymore. So I think keeping the distance is a problem of a 3C. And the second question?
Okay, the second one. The elderly are still not familiar with the use of technology products. When introducing wearable devices or physiological monitoring products in home care, are there any suggestions for practical applications?
I think the problem for the elderly is they are not familiar with the technology. So how to be user-friendly, how to be kind to them, how to keep it simple is very important. So, okay.
Okay, for question 3. When hospitals employ IoT, what are the prerequisites needed in the full implementation of the system? What about the hospital not ready for this system?
Okay, IoT or AIoT are important and useful, but not every hospital are ready for that. So probably some of the hospitals have the experience. So probably if any of the healthcare providers can help us to give us our some experience in using it or understand it. So okay, there are 3 questions. Now it is time for Q&A, and I will ask every speaker, I will give you 3 minutes for you to answer any one or all of the questions. Okay, I think can we start from Superintendent Zhang? Do we have a speaker? I'm sorry, yeah. I'm sorry, do we have a speaker? Okay.
Okay, I think in our hospital, when we meet the elderly patient, sometimes also we have a lot of people use the 3C equipment, but not 100%. So when we meet the elderly patient or visitors, we will use the originally method like the paper, because we have to think about for the COVID-19 pandemic, the prevention measurement. This is for all person, but the 3C equipment just a tool, but its tool is very popular, but 100% to use this. So we consider the humanity. So we will tell the patient or visitor, you could use the paperwork to do the TOCC or the registry. So it's our strategy for the elderly patient or visitor. Oh, that's all.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Superintendent Chen. And the next one, I think everyone can come up and give your opinion and your answer to every or all the questions. And so the next one is
I also want to answer the second question. The elderly people is not so familiar with use the technology products. I think yes, maybe for elderly people, they are not so familiar, or they don't have they are not willing to use the 3C products. So we don't expect they to use, but we can use like the robots and the other detection technology. Is maybe automatic exist in our environment to help the elderly people to receive the medical service in the hospital. So that's my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your answer. Then the next one, we will, can I invite Ken to come up to the microphone?
Thank you. The same for the second question. If elder people are not familiar with 3C product, I think the most important issue is the habit it didn't keep in the past of times. However, I think one thing can solve all the problem is caring from their friends, their family. For example, in our product lines, we have different kind of equipment. Like this one, this is also positioning tech, and this one is also a positioning tech. And this one is vital sign measurement with positioning technology. So in these three different kind of equipments, this one are not so popular for elder people because this is so different in their memory. And this one is very popular in Taiwan because it's just like we get from the temple or from the elders. And this one, they can combine with like key rings or hide them in the shoes or the clothes. So the elder people won't find it easily. So because they don't know what is this and this is go with them, they won't be feel bad about taking them. However, with the support by the family or friends, if like this one, this watch can measure the vital signs like body temperature and blood pressure and heart rate, something like that. If their children always ask their parents, like, how are you today? I see your heart rate is a little bit high today. Do you do some sports or something? With the caring by the data detecting from this bracelet, the elders receive the warmth and the caring from their children. They will keep taking this with them without any care. So this is only a 3C product. They won't put them for too long time. That's our practice. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Kent. Then Dr. Liu, can you share your experience?
Thank you. I want to say is those questions just raised the problem is why we focus on or emphasize on the design thinking. When we focus on the design thinking, just like we said, we just think or produce a product from the customer way or our patient or elderly people. They don't have to adapt to these things or even learn from these things, learn how to use. They can use by their instinct. And just like my children, so they can use iPad, since they can move their hand, you know. They see our iPhone, they can use, the picture can be enlarged. They don't have to learn. I never told them about how to use computer, the iPad, iPhone, or something like that. So I think this is the easy ways that how we design a product from the patient, our customer, and not let them, because they are sick, they have to learn something or choose something how to use. I think it's too difficult for them. So this is why we emphasize on the design thinking way for our Center of Innovation. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Liu. Peter, thank you. And the next presenter is Arthur. Is that right? No? You? Okay, so also, okay, and then Max, do you want to share your experience?
And for the first question, okay, actually I can share some our internal discussion when we we began to design our first generation robot. Okay, we have a debate internally. Okay, the problem is, the issue is, do our robot would like a human or not? Okay, like human, just like like Ayuda, like a paper. If we would our robot not like a human, just like a kiosk or something like that. Okay, so we have an internal debate about it. Finally, we think we would like our robot like a human-like. Okay, that's because first you can make the distance between the robot and the human be more close, because in the front of humanity, the human like to approach something like them. Okay, and for the kiosk, I know I just see it's a machine, not a human. But if you have a human-like robot, maybe he will see people will see like a robot. So so we decided to use design a human-like robot, okay, and to close the distance between peoples and also we also designed some interaction way between human and a robot. So we use our voice recognition. You can talk to robot. You can actually in our robot there's a panel in front of our Ayuda, and you can use it actually is a touch panel. Okay, you can use your finger to give the robot some instruction, or you can talk to her. So it's the more natural way to communicate with the humans communication way, the more natural way to communicate with each other. So we use those technology to shorten the distance between a human and the machine. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Max. I think I want to thank all the presenters who gave up your answers to 3 questions. And for the first question is because the 3C and the pandemic have kept people away. So what is the solution to bring humanity back? It means that the human context. I think the first one is because we have to have insight. Because we are losing contact, so we have to have insight in to put more efforts on connecting with others by technology, not on personal contact. And the second one, probably we can design something. For instance, such as after every class for 50 minutes, we have 10 minutes break. So I wonder if the smartphone will shut down every 50 minutes for 10 minutes, then at that time you have to lose your smartphone and you have to go to people and to ask to talk to other people. I don't know. Maybe it's not a good idea, but however, I think it is. We have to think about. I think it is an important issue. And for the elderly, not understanding very well the technology, I think we have many ways. I want to thank all the speakers. They have provided their technology, how to help the elderly to use the 3C products more easily and to be committed to them. I think there have been, there we are going to be a lot of innovations to bring more humanity. For instance, in the Hualien area, if there's Aboriginal people coming to ask a question in Aboriginal language, then you can answer in Aboriginal language about the hello or everything else. Then it is human. I say that it is personal needs. So I think there will going to be a lot of progress in the future, because if we know the needs of general or individual needs, then we can provide solutions. The problem is you didn't recognize the needs. And for the third question, no one answered the third question because for the if the hospital have any knowledge about IoT or AIoT and to implement into your medical services, it seems that most of the hospital are not familiar with it. So I have to say sorry to those who asked the question, but I think you can go back to Forum 2, because in Forum 2, it is talking about AI and IoT and AIoT. So I think you should go back to the Forum 2, because there have been a lot of presentation and discussion about this question. So is there any more question on site? Or then if not, I would like to thank all the presenters, and I want to thank all the audience for participating in this forum. It is a very successful one. Best wishes for everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Lin. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our International Smart Healthcare Forum. Thank you very much for joining us for this afternoon. Don't forget to fill in the feedback survey, and please stay tuned for our upcoming events, C-Talk and SHE, discussions of smart medical applications and reflections in the post-epidemic era on September 22nd via online. This is the end of today's event. Thank you for your participation. We'll see you again in September.